What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of MLB action on Saturday, August 23rd. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Friday, guys, is going pretty great. Now, we don't have all the games finished yet, and we're going to need some fortuitous things to happen down the stretch, but we do have the Tampa Bay Rays already at minus 130, a very comfortable 10-6 win. Hauser wasn't great over his 6 and the third innings, but as predicted, Michaelis was terrible, and Tampa Bay smashed out 16 hits and 4 home runs to get the win. Now, we also had the Rangers at minus 165. What a crazy game down the stretch. The Rangers come out on top 4-3. Eovaldi was lights out, allowing only a single run and striking out 9 over his 7 innings, but Slade Ciccone wasn't terrible. Neither bullpen held up great, and it was the Rangers who scored 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to walk things off the game-ending double. So another nice win there. We still have the Reds at plus 115. They're still alive. They are down 2. It's the top of the 5th, but they're about to get to take lots of at-bats against that Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen. Usually a good thing if you're trying to score some runs. We had Boston as big underdogs at plus 143. An awesome 1-0 win there for the Red Sox. Bello shut out the Pinstripes over 7 innings of work, and the bullpen held up. Wong hitting that double in the 7th and driving in a run ended up being all the offense that the Red Sox needed to get another very big win there against the Yankees and to cash our dog of the day. Now, we still have the Brewers live as our massive lock of the day right now at minus 158. They just won. Our lock of the day cashes as we're recording, guys. They win 5-4. They must have walked it off then. What happened? Contreras, a home run to left field. Thank you, Contreras. We will cash our dog of the day as well. So guaranteed at least a 4-1 day, and that's if the Reds can't make a comeback. That's after a massive 5-1 day there yesterday. So let's dive back in. Let's get after it. Things are working out pretty great right now. So let's hope we can keep this red hot run going. And right off the bat, we're going to look at a team that's done a lot of good stuff for us recently. We're looking at the Boston Red Sox headed to New York to take on the Yankees. The Red Sox come into this game 70-59 on the season, winners of the first 2 in this series. They're still 5 games back of Toronto, so not making a lot of headway there in the AL East, but they have to be pretty happy with how they're playing. They'll hand the ball in this one to their ace, Garrett Crochet. He's 13-5 on the season, a 2.43 ERA, coming off an excellent start there against the Marlins, where the Red Sox managed to lose 5-3 despite him giving up only 1 run there over 7 innings. His start before that, he was pretty bad against Houston, but generally Crochet has just been excellent this year. He's got a couple starts against the Yankees. He had a mediocre one on the 7th, then backed that up on the 13th with a dominant 8 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run performance. So I think he's got the Yankees at least a little bit figured out. I think Crochet is going to go out there and have a very good day on the mound. Now, the Red Sox bullpen has been excellent, obviously, in this series. A 3.42 bullpen ERA this season is 3rd best in the majors. So I have very little problem with that Red Sox bullpen. Now, the offense coming up with only 1 run there yesterday is a little bit of a concern. 1-6, 3-3, and 3 over their last few. They're not swinging the hottest bats. That being said, this is an elite offense, guys. Definitely a top 5 offense. So we'll see what they can do here in game 3 against the Yankees, who obviously have lost 2 in a row now. They're, 5.5 games back in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball to Will Warren in this one. He's 7-5 on the season, a 4.25 ERA, but he's been throwing the ball really well. There were some weird situations, some weird bumps in the road there against St. Louis the last time he was on the mound, but over his last 5 starts, he's thrown the ball really well. Now, we'll be able to replicate that against the Red Sox. He had a kind of bumpy start against them back in early June. 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs allowed. He walked 4 and gave up a home run and struck out 6 in a 9-6 win there for Boston. So, a 9-6 win there for the Yankees over Boston. So, we'll see. He has been throwing the ball much better here recently. I can't exactly say the same for that Yankees bullpen. It hasn't been amazing down the stretch this year, but, there's still time to figure things out there, I suppose. The offense coming off of getting shut out, that's a tough look. 0-3, 6-13, and 8-12 over their last few. They came into this series hitting the cover off the ball. That has all of a sudden dipped drastically. They're still second in runs scored, blah, blah, blah. This is an elite level offense, but right now they're not swinging the hottest bats. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Red Sox are minus 135. The Yankees are plus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. Boston's 27-34 on the road, 34-26-1 to the over on the road. That's an MLB best to the over away from home. The Yankees are a pretty good home team, 37-25 at home, 34-26-2 to the under at home. I'm not too interested in the total in this one. I would lean slightly under, but I'm not in love with it for a day game on a Sunday or on a Saturday. In terms of the side, I gotta roll it back here and take the Red Sox at minus 135. I know Warren's been better recently, but he's got some pretty bad history against the Red Sox. And with Crochet on the mound, I think minus 135 is a very reasonable price. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays headed to Miami to take on the Marlins. The Blue Jays at 75-54 on the year have to feel pretty good about life right now. They're 5 games up in the AL East. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jose Barrios, who's 9-5 on the season, a 4.00 ERA. His last start, he was terrible. Awful there against the Rangers. 4 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs against a very offensively challenged team. Now, he had been throwing the ball relatively well before that. Not lights out, I won't say, but okay at least. He's soaked up a lot of innings, a lot of starts this season. He hasn't faced the Marlins. Can he bounce back in this game? I definitely think it's a strong possibility. Now, that Toronto bullpen hasn't been amazing this year. A 4.03 bullpen ERA does leave some room for concern. The offense putting up 5 runs there in game 1 of this series looks nice. Obviously, they've been a little bit banged up, but they're 7th in the majors in runs scored and 1st in batting average and on base percentage. I think this team's going to be just fine at the plate. So we'll see what they do here against the Marlins, who have lost 3 out of their last 4. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jansen Junk, who's 6-2 on the year, a 4.04 ERA. His last start was at Boston, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs in a game the Marlins eventually won 5-3. So good stuff there. We'll see what he can do here against the Toronto Blue Jays. He's been decent on the mound, but giving up at least 3 earned runs in each of his last 5 starts and getting shelled by the Yankees mixed in there. I'm not super high on this guy on the mound, as he has not faced Toronto this year. So we'll see how that goes, but they're a pretty tough nut to crack. And whenever he comes out of the game, that's going to mean that Marlins bullpen is taking over, and it has not been good down the stretch either. A 4.10 bullpen ERA leaves an awful lot of room for improvement. The Marlins are 18th in runs scored this year. They are 10th in batting average, but 17th in slugging percentage, and not swinging the hottest bat, scoring 2, 6, 4, 3, 5, 5, and 1 over their last few games. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Blue Jays are minus 130. The Marlins are plus 110. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Toronto's 32-33 on the road, 33-28-4 to the over on the road. Miami is 29-33 at home, 34-28 to the under at home. I think this is a pretty good bounce back spot here for Barrios. I'm a little bit worried about him obviously coming off such a bad outing, so this might not make the pinned comment because of that, but if you have faith in him bouncing back, I do think this is an excellent spot. I don't really think Jansen Junk or that Marlins bullpen is going to have a great day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Nationals won game 1 of this series 5-4. Pretty embarrassing stuff there for the Phillies. Once again, we see that bullpen for the Phillies give up another game, lose another game for them. I don't know where the guy in the comments that was talking about how good the Phillies bullpen is. Well, I think they're pretty terrible, and I've been backed up by what they've been doing out there lately. Now, the Nationals are going to hand the ball in this one to Mitchell Parker, who's 7-13 on the year, a 5.83 ERA. His last start, he couldn't hardly make it out of the gate there against the Phillies. 1 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned. He walked 3 and struck out 0 in an 11-9 loss for the Nationals. A game that was made very close there at the end, I will say, but obviously not super high on Mitchell Parker in this spot, not super high on that Nationals bullpen, a 5.70 bullpen ERA, even though they've been a bit better recently. The offense for the Nationals, 5-9-5, 1-9-2 over their last few games. They're in the ball okay. They're 20th in runs scored. They're 21st in on-base percentage, 19th in batting average. This team isn't a joke at the plate, but they're also not among the league leaders. So we'll see what they do here against the Phillies, who are obviously in a bounce-back spot after a tough loss there, another game given up by their bullpen. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Aaron Nola, who's 1-7 this season, a 6.92 ERA. His last 3 starts have all been terrible. He got shelled there by the Nationals, 2 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs allowed. That was in that 11-9 win there for the Phillies. So we'll see if they can give him that kind of run support once again. When he comes out of the game, that Phillies bullpen, like I was saying, not very high on them. The offense has been putting up some runs. Don't get me wrong, they hit the ball really well in that series against the Mariners, but I feel like the 6-game lead they have in the NL East has kind of made this team a little bit complacent at the plate. We'll see what happens. They're 9th in the majors in runs scored. They are 8th in slugging percentage and 5th in on-base percentage. So I'm not too worried about the Phillies offensively, but that pitching staff leaves a lot to be desired. So looking at the numbers here, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, I guess maybe not given Mitchell Parker's struggles, but the Nationals are plus 185. The Phillies are minus 225. We've got a total of 9.5 in this one. The Nationals, not a great road team. They are 32-26-4 to the over on the road. The Phillies are 40-21 at home, 32-26-3 to the over at home. I don't think over 9.5 is out of the question in this game, guys. I think it's definitely a possibility. I'm not going to be backing it, but I could definitely see it. In terms of the side, there's no way I'm laying minus 225 on the Phillies against anyone right now. So by default, give me the Nationals as a small lean, but I'm staying far, far away from this one. Hey guys, hopping here to the quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, and NFL preseason picks, with NFL regular season picks already up there for week 1 in the premium section over there at Stump the Spread, and week 0 college football picks in that premium section as well. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and has had a great 2025 season so far. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not usually, will not always match what you see here in the video, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have an expert with many years of experience, well over a decade of experience capping Major League Baseball, and he's had a great 2025 season so far, had a record-setting or nearly record-setting July. You'll see the numbers up here on the screen right now. He printed well over 50 units there in July, so that was amazing, and he's had a very reasonable August as well. Now, he did have a bit of a rough day there on the 20th, going 1-4, but he backed it up with a 2-0 day there on the 21st. Today, here on the 22nd, having a little bit of a tough one. Didn't cash that no-run first inning on the Reds. He was a victim there of that implosion there by the Phillies bullpen, so that sucked, but still has the Cincinnati, Arizona under 9. That one's definitely still live. The Rays cashed for him. That was a nice 1-unit win there, and he's still very live on the Dodgers. They're only down by 1 there in the middle of the 7th inning, so could end up being a nice day there for the premium members regardless, but an undefeated day there on the 21st, and he went on another one of those crazy runs. The 16th and the 17th, he went a combined 10-0. If you can see all the picks on the screen right now. You can see that he had that crazy run there on the 16th and 17th, and really a crazy run over a several-day stretch there. So definitely consider signing up for the premium picks there over there at StumpTheSpread.com. There's also, NFL and NCAA football in the mix there as well, and both those seasons are going to be in full swing here right around the corner. So definitely check that out. Also get over to StumpTheSpread.com to get on our free email newsletter. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day with at least one free pick, oftentimes 2 free picks, tons of information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR. I know a big NASCAR write-up just went out the other day. Tennis can even be included. WNBA is often included in those free picks, and WNBA very likely to be a premium sport come next season. Probably not going to be in these emails nearly as much next year because it's just gone so well. We found a nice edge there on WNBA, so that's going to be going to the premium members primarily, probably in the next WNBA season. But definitely get on there. All you got to do is click the link in the description, go over to StumpTheSpread.com, set up a free account. All they need is your name and your email address, and you'll be on that email newsletter. You should get one email every single day. If you don't, check your spam folder. It can occasionally end up in there. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, and they get access to our members-only giveaways. We give away one Stump the Spread hoodie here every single week. We'll be doing our next giveaway here on the 25th, on August 25th, so definitely want to make sure you're a YouTube channel member by then if you want to be eligible for that giveaway. We ship one Stump the Spread hoodie straight to somebody's mailbox every single week, so definitely consider signing up if you want to get in on that. But guys, we got to dive back in. We've got a full slate to cover here, a ton more games, and next up, we're going to be looking at the Kansas City Royals heading to Detroit to take on the Tigers. The Royals come into this game fresh off a tough 7-5 loss there yesterday in game 1 of their series against Detroit. At 66-63, though, they're very live in that American League wildcard hunt. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Michael Wacha. He's 8-9 on the season, a 3.34 ERA, but he has come on strong here down the stretch. His last time on the mound was a little bit questionable. He had to pitch out a lot of trouble, gave up 9 hits there in his 5 2/3 innings, but only allowed 2 earned runs in a game the Royals would eventually win 4-3. He's looked great. Over his last 5 starts, the Royals are 5-0. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of those starts. So very good stuff there. In terms of history this season against the Tigers, he gave up 1 hit over 7 innings, struck out 6, walked 1 in a 1-0 win against Detroit back in the last day of May. So we'll see if he can replicate that. That seems like kind of a big ask, but he also had a solid start back in April against them. So some pretty convincing history from Wacha in this particular matchup. Now, the Royals bullpen has been solid all year long. Not a lot of hiccups. A 3.63 bullpen ERA has been right around their season average. So not worried about the bullpen. The offense, on the other hand, does have plenty of room for concern. I mean, 5, 6, 3, 5, 4, and 6 over their last few is not terrible hitting for a team that's 29th in the majors in runs scored and 23rd in on-base percentage. They've been hitting the ball a little bit better, though, recently, so I got to give them credit where credit is due. So we'll see what they do here against the Tigers. They're playing really well. They've won 4 in a row and 8 of 9. They've got a massive lead there in the AL Central. They'll hand the ball in this one to Chris Paddock, who's 4-11 this year, a 5.10 ERA. His last time on the mound, he got absolutely shelled by the Minnesota Twins, so his old team really seems to have his number. We'll see what he can do here against the Royals. Not a team that's been hitting the ball extremely hard this season, but swinging the bats a little bit better this year. He doesn't have any history against them this season, so we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting Paddock to probably struggle a little bit. He hasn't had the best time, so we'll see how that looks. We'll see how the bullpen looks for the Tigers. It's been getting better down the stretch. Once again, had that long valley of being just terrible. Seems like they figured a few things out. Seems like they're going to be okay. The offense also coming around a little bit. 7-7-1. 10-1-8 over their last few games. Riley Green just hit his 30th home run. Cool. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored. They're 9th in slugging percentage. This offense is no joke, but they do seem to struggle against Waka. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Royals are plus 105. The Tigers are minus 125. We've got a total of 8.5. The Royals are 30-32 on the road, 32-29-1 to the under on the road. The Tigers are 42-24 at home, 32-29-5 to the over at home. This doesn't feel great, but I'm very seriously considering the Royals here at plus 105. I think with Walker on the mound, it's a very reasonable spot for them. I think we're going to see them produce a good amount of offense in this game against Chris Paddock. I think their bullpen's good, better than the Tigers' bullpen. I do worry about Walker having some sort of implosion, but there's no legitimate reason to worry about that. So give me the Royals here at plus 105 as a potential dog of the day. Cruising along here, guys, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. The Rockies at 37-92 on the year, not having the best season, historically bad season actually. They lost game 1 of the series at 9-0. They'll hand the ball here to Kyle Freeland in game 2. He's 3-12 on the year, a 5.16 ERA. He was dealing with a blister here recently, and I just don't have a lot of great things to say. I guess his last 2 starts were okay. He was okay against the Dodgers and great against the Cardinals, but overall this year, the guy's had a terrible, terrible season. We'll see what he can do, in this one going up against the Pirates. Does he have any history against the Pirates this season? No, he hasn't faced Pittsburgh this year, but not super high on Kyle Freeland on the mound. Obviously, the Rockies' bullpen's been terrible, one of the worst bullpens in the majors, and the offense, coming off getting shut out, they've scored 0, 5, 8, 4, 4, 6, 10, and 4 over their last few. Very hot hitting for a team that's 27th in the majors in runs scored and 30th in on-base percentage. So we'll see what happens in this one, guys. They're going up against the Pirates, who come into this game 55-74 on the season. Chandler coming in with a 4-inning save there in his MLB debut, so that was cool for Pittsburgh fans. They'll hand the ball in this one to Mike Burrows, another promising young pitcher. He's 1-4 this season, a 4.46 ERA. His last start, he was very good against the Cubs. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run allowed, and a 3-1 loss. Over his last 5, I would say 3 of his starts have been excellent, and 2 of them have been pretty terrible. So we'll see what he does here. He is pitching at home. He's going up against the Rockies, a terrible offensive team. So I'm expecting Mike Burrows to do a pretty good job. I'm expecting the Pirates bullpen. It's been mediocre. Obviously good there yesterday, but a 4.13 bullpen ERA does worry me. The offense putting up 9 runs yesterday is great, but that's not the norm for a team that's been the lowest scoring team in the majors this season. They're also last in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Rockies are plus 140, the Pirates are minus 170, a total of 8.5. The Rockies are 16-46 on the road. That's crazy, guys. They are 36-25-1 to the under on the road. The Pirates are 36-30 at home, 34-30-2 to the under at home. I'm going to be leaning towards the Pirates here at minus 170. I think Mike Burrows can go out and have a good start, but am I willing to lay minus 170 with the Pittsburgh Pirates in this situation? Even against the Rockies, it feels like a bit of a stretch. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Astros at 71-58 on the year have won the first 2 games of this series, so that's got to feel pretty good. They've now got a 2.5 game lead there in the AL West. They'll hand the ball in this game to Christian Javier, who's 1-1 on the year, a 3.38 ERA. This is only his 3rd start of the season. His first one was good against the Red Sox. His second one was okay against Baltimore, I guess. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, but that was a game we saw the Astros lose 12-0. So we'll see what he does here this time going up against the Orioles. Obviously, the bullpen for Houston's been solid this year, but has dealt with a lot of injuries, and we'll see if adding a guy like Kimbrel does anything for him. Obviously, past his prime, I would think. Now, the Astros offense, putting up 10 and 7 runs respectively in the first 2 games of the series, has to feel great after they couldn't hit the water if they fell out of a boat there against the Tigers. So they are 21st in the majors in runs scored this year, but 6th in batting average. They are capable of continuing this run at the plate, but we'll see if they can do that here against the Orioles, who are obviously, 59-69 on the year, not having a great season. They'll hand the ball to Dean Kremer, though. He's 9-9 on the year, a 3.97 ERA, but he's been lights out his last couple times on the mound. 8 innings, 1 run given up against Seattle. 7 innings, no runs given up against Houston in that 12-0 win. So I like Dean Kremer's history here against this opponent. We'll see if it plays out that way. Now, the bullpen for the Orioles, not great. A 4.66 bullpen ERA has kept them in the bottom 5, bottom 6 in the majors all year long. The offense putting up 7, 2, 4, 6, and 12 over their last few games doesn't seem terrible, and they did a good job against the Astros bullpen and against Christian Javier the last time they faced him. So I'm actually leaning a bit towards their offense to have a good day. Now, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Astros are plus 110. The Orioles are minus 125. We've got a total of 9 in this game. Houston's a 500 team on the road. They're 29, 28, and 5 to the over on the road. Baltimore's a 500 team at home. 30, 28, and 2 to the over at home. I'll definitely take the Orioles here at minus 125. I'm not sure if it's going to end up in the pinned comment. I do worry a little bit about Dean Kremer having, some sort of weird regression in this spot, but I do think the Orioles probably going to bounce back from losing 2 straight in this one and find a way to get a win. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Guardians took the 4-3 loss there yesterday at the Rangers, so slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Rangers with us there in a crazy, crazy game. The Guardians now at 64-63 on the year, seeing their postseason hopes begin to fade a little bit. We'll hand the ball to Logan Allen. He's 7-9 this year, a 3.87 ERA. He's coming off of a pretty mediocre start there against the Atlanta Braves. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, only one of which was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6 in a 5-4 loss. Honestly, over his last 4 starts, he looked pretty good, but good starts against Atlanta, Miami, the Mets, and the Rockies doesn't really get me too excited. In terms of his history this year against the Rangers, he hasn't faced the Rangers this year, so no history there, but we are a little bit worried about Logan Allen. The bullpen for the Guardians has been good this year, but maybe not dominant lately. A 3.60 bullpen ERA, though, is still respectable. The offense for the Guardians is a problem. 3-2-5, 3-4-1 over their last few games. They're 26th in runs scored. They're last in batting average, 29th in on base percentage. This team can't hit. There's really no way around that. So we'll see what they do on the road here against a team that usually can't hit in the Texas Rangers, who are 64-66 this season. Coming off that desperately needed win there yesterday, they'll hand the ball to Jack Leiter today. He's 7-7 on the season, a 4.06 ERA, coming off a pretty bad start there against the Royals. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, gave a couple home runs in that game as well. He'd been throwing the ball really well, just that start against the Royals didn't really seem to have his best stuff. So we'll see if he can look a little bit better here against the Cleveland Guardians, a team he has not faced this year, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm expecting Leiter to bounce back at least a little bit, especially pitching at home. Seems like that should probably help. The Rangers' bullpen's been elite this season. That hasn't been a big problem, although there have been some weird outings here lately. I do have to mention that, but I haven't loved the bullpen here recently. Now, the offense, it's been a struggle all year for the Rangers. 4-4-6. 2, 3, and 10 over their last few games. It came with some clutch hitting there yesterday, so thank you for that. But they're 23rd in the majors in runs scored and 26th in slugging percentage for a reason. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Guardians are plus 110, the Rangers are minus 130. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. Cleveland's 33-31 on the road, 33-26 and 5 to the under on the road. The Rangers are 37-26 at home. 40, 22, and 1 to the under at home. I think we definitely have to consider under 8.5 in this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense. If this was 9, this would definitely go in the pinned comment. At 8.5, I worry a little bit. In terms of a side, I actually think this is a decent spot to back the Rangers at minus 130. It's a little bit of a coin toss, which I like better here, the Rangers as the side or the under. We'll have to wait and see if either of those make the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins heading to Chicago to take on the White Sox. The Twins got a kind of crazy 9-7 win there behind an insane day there from Soderson. The Twins don't have a confirmed starter for this game, and at 59-69 on the year, probably not headed to the postseason. Their bullpen in general has been terrible, honestly. They were good for that long stretch there when they had that crazy winning streak, but they haven't been very good this year in general. The rotation hasn't been anything special, and the offense, while they did come up with 9 runs there yesterday, has also not really shown too many positive things. 24th in runs scored, 24th in batting average, and dealing with some injuries. So we'll see what they do here against the White Sox, who have lost 3 in a row, not having a great time. They'll hand the ball in this one to Davis Martin. He's 4-9 on the year, a 3.94 ERA, coming off a dazzling start there against the Royals. 6 innings, gave up only 1 hit, but we saw the White Sox lose that game 6-2 in the end. So that had to sting a little bit. We'll see what he can do here against the Minnesota Twins, a team that he faced back in April and was okay, but that's too long ago for us to really take much from that. The White Sox bullpen's been struggling down the stretch, not headed in the right direction. The offense, 7-0-10, 13, 2, 2, and 1 over their last few. Very inconsistent. They're 29th in batting average, 29th in slugging percentage, and 27th in runs scored. So not a lot of positives for the White Sox at the plate. Now, look at the numbers for this game. The Twins are minus 118. The White Sox are plus 100. We got a total of 9. Minnesota's 25 and 38 on the road. 34, 26, and 3 to the under on the road. The White Sox are 26 and 36 at home, 32, 25, and 5 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total here. I'm going to lean slightly towards the White Sox in this spot, but obviously can't give you a real lean on this game until we see who's actually starting for the Twins. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. Slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Brewers with us there yesterday as our lock of the day. The Giants have now lost 4 in a row. They're now, 7 games below 500, looking like their season's over. They're going to hand the ball here to Logan Webb, who's 11-9 on the year, a 3.19 ERA, coming off a great start there against the Tampa Bay Rays. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. That was a nice bounce back after a poor start there against the Padres. Now, what will he be able to do against the Milwaukee Brewers? Well, he faced them back in late April and did give up 6 hits over 6 1/3 innings, but the Giants won that game 4-2. We'll see. We'll see what he can do this late in the season against a team as good as Milwaukee. Now, the Giants' bullpen's been one of the best bullpens in the majors, a 3.31 bullpen ERA. That's very solid stuff. The offense, though, is atrocious. 4-4-1, 1-4-7, and 1 over their last few games. I mean, they're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They're 28th in batting average and 27th in slugging percentage. Scraping the bottom of the barrel here. That's how I would describe the San Francisco Giants offense. Now, their opponent, the Milwaukee Brewers, they've been killing it. They're 81 and 48 this season. They've got a 7.5 game lead in the NL Central. They'll hand the ball in this one to Freddie Peralta, who's been crazy good this year, a 5.15 ERA, or a 15-1 record, a 2.78 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, no runs allowed, and a 7-0 win against the Cubs. He's given up 1 earned run over his last 3 starts combined, and the Brewers, no shocker, are 3-0 over those starts. So great stuff from Peralta. I expect him to continue to dominate. The Brewers' bullpens looked better and better down the stretch, down to a 3.74 bullpen ERA, and the offense continues to be one of the scarier ones in the majors. Now, they haven't been swinging the bats incredibly well recently. I mean, 5-4, 3-1, 4, and 7 over their last few games. Not up to their normal standards. This is the 3rd highest scoring team in the majors. They're 2nd in batting average, 3rd in on-base percentage. This is a team you should fear. So we'll see what they can do here going up against Logan Webb. Now, the odds makers have the Giants at plus 115, the Brewers at minus 135, a total of 7.5 in this game. The Giants are 31 and 34 on the road, 34, 27, and 4 to the over on the road. The Brewers are 42 and 20 at home. That's an MLB best home mark. 33, 28, and 1 to the under at home. I actually do think under 7.5 is live in this game. I don't think we're going to see some crazy amount of offense, but I do think we're going to see the Brewers come up with enough runs to win this game. Logan Webb could go out there and have another amazing performance, but I tend to doubt it here against the Brewers. So give me Milwaukee here at minus 135. I think this might end up making the pinned comment. Next up, we're looking at the New York Mets. They're going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Mets got the much-needed 12-7 win there yesterday at 68 and 60 on the season. Obviously not having the year they imagined, but they do, luckily enough, find themselves in the 3rd wildcard spot. Now, that being said, they have a 1-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds. That might go down to a half-game lead if the Reds can continue, can finish off this come-from-behind win against the Diamondbacks. We are, fingers crossed, hoping that can happen and give us the perfect day. Now, the Mets will hand the ball in this one to Clay Holmes. He's 10 and 6 this season, a 3.64 ERA. His last start was against the Mariners. He was very good. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, in a 7-3 win. The last time he faced Atlanta, though, it did not go great. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, and 5 earned runs back on August 12th. So not very long ago. Definitely concerned about Clay Holmes in this spot. The Mets' bullpen hasn't been nearly as good down the stretch as it was early in the season. That's a problem. The offense awakening for 12 runs has to feel great for this team. I mean, they're still only 13th in runs scored, 20th in batting average, so not the offensive juggernaut they were supposed to be. We'll see what they can do here against the Braves. Atlanta at 58 and 70 on the year. Obviously don't have a ton to play for, but they still seem like they're, trying. They'll hand the ball in this one to Cal Quantrill. Coming over from the Marlins, guys. He's 4 and 10 on the season, a 5.50 ERA. His last time on the mound was back on the 16th, and it was against the Red Sox, and he got demolished. So we'll see what he does here against the Mets. Does he have any history against the Mets this year? I don't know. I didn't think he'd face... Or no, he opened his season against the Mets and got obliterated, but that was an awfully long time ago. So we're not going to hold that too much against him, but we will at least take it into consideration. Obviously, the Atlanta bullpen has had its moments this season, but hasn't been great. The offense coming off a 7-run game, okay. 7-1-11, 9, 5, 10, 2, 4, and 11 over their last few games. This team isn't a complete joke at the plate, but they're a little bit banged up, and 17th in runs scored and 18th in batting average doesn't exactly make me super scared. So looking at the numbers here, the Mets are minus 125, the Braves are plus 105. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Mets are 26 and 36 on the road, 31, 26 and 5 to the under on the road. Atlanta's 32 and 31 at home, 34, 25 and 4 to the under at home. I'm not taking under 9.5 with the history these two guys have, but I will lean slightly towards the Mets. I think there's a chance Clay Holmes can bounce back in a big way in this game and eventually get the Mets the win. But do I trust enough to put in the pinned comment? Honestly, with Cal Quantrill on the mound for Atlanta, it has to be at least considered. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Reds and Diamondbacks are still playing right now, with Cincinnati down 3-4 there in the bottom of the 7th. So we're hoping they can finish that comeback off. They're going to hand the ball here in game 2 of this series to Andrew Abbott. He's 8-3 on the year, a 2.28 ERA, fresh off a dominant performance there against Milwaukee. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed, walked 0 and struck out 7. Actually hasn't issued a walk over his last 2 outings, so his control has been spot on. We'll see what he can do against the Diamondbacks. Still a scary offensive team, but maybe not the scariest out there anymore. I'm expecting good stuff from Abbott. I'm also expecting pretty good stuff from the bullpen there from the Reds. I know they've had their problems, but I think this is a pretty solid bullpen unit. I'm expecting them to have a good night out there in this one. The Reds offense, I mean, they've come with 3 runs so far in their current game. They only scored 1 run in their last game against the Angels, so not swinging the absolute hottest bats. They are 12th in the majors in runs scored, but 22nd in slugging percentage and 16th in batting average, I think, is a more accurate portrayal of where this offense really is. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road against the Diamondbacks. Arizona, obviously not a lot still to play for, but they've been playing. They won 2 out of 3 against the Guardians coming into this series. In game 2 here, they're going to hand the ball to Nabil Crismatt. He comes into this game, only making his second start of the year. His first one back on the 17th was pretty good, but it was against the Rockies, so let's not overreact too much. We'll see what he can do against the Reds. The Arizona bullpen's been atrocious this season. That's a big problem for them. The offense, it's been okay, not as good, post trade deadline, obviously, with all the guys they lost, but they've been still putting up some decent numbers. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Reds are minus 130, the Diamondbacks are plus 110, a total of 9 out there. Cincinnati's 31-32 on the road, 35, 27 and 1 to the under on the road. Arizona's 32-31 at home, 30, 29 and 4 to the over at home. I definitely like the Reds here at minus 130 with Andrew Abbott looking amazing on the mound his last couple of starts. I think they're going to find out how to get after it in this one. I think they'll put up quite a few runs. I don't love over 9 here, but I'll definitely take the Reds, especially if they end up losing here in game 1. That probably catapults this to near lock of the day status. Next on the docket, we're looking at the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. These two are facing off still right now. The bottom of the 8th inning. The Dodgers are down 2-1. The Padres actually have a runner on second with 2 outs. Now, we'll see what happens in game 1. Obviously, the Padres and Dodgers very close there in the NL West. Only a single game dividing them. The Dodgers will hand the ball to Tyler Glasnow in this one. He's 1-1 this season, a 3.12 ERA. He looked great against the Padres the last time he faced them. Maybe great is a bit of an overstatement. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. He did give up a home run, but he also struck out 8 and walked 1 in that start. So he's been really good. No exaggeration there. He's been excellent. Now, the Dodgers bullpen, on the other hand, has not been excellent. A 4.20 bullpen ERA over the course of the season. It has been maybe a bit better recently, but still not a bullpen that I fully trust. Now, the offense for the Dodgers is obviously elite. They put up 9 runs in their last game against the Rockies, but not hitting the ball too well in game 1 here against the Padres. So we'll see if they can get it going. They're still first in the majors run scored, so that's something to take into consideration. Now, the Padres come into this game. They won 3 in a row there against the Giants. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Nestor Cortez. He's 1-2 on the season, a 5.87 ERA. And that's after making 1 start against the Diamondbacks and 2 starts against the Giants since coming over from Milwaukee. So I'm definitely worried about Nestor Cortez on the mound here going up against a team as good as the Dodgers. The bullpen for the Padres is obviously elite, but they're going to be at least a little bit tired. I mean, how many bullpen guys do they use so far in their current game? I guess only 2. Darvish actually had a wildly good start, so congrats to him. But I do worry a little bit about the bullpen, although it's been the best bullpen in the majors, so maybe that's not legitimate. But the offense for the Padres is not great. 21st in runs scored, 8th in batting average, 25th in slugging percentage. They did hit the ball really well there in the last 3 games against the Giants, so maybe they're swinging some hotter bats, but only 2 runs in their current game doesn't get me super jazzed up. So looking at the numbers for this one, guys, the Dodgers are minus 140, the Padres are plus 118. Got totals out there of 8 or 8.5. The Dodgers are a slightly below 500 team on the road. They're 34-26-1 to the under on the road. The Padres are 41-21 at home. That's pretty good, guys. They're 33-27-2 to the under at home. I just think under 8.5 is reasonable in this game, but maybe not something that's going to make the pin comment, because I definitely like the Dodgers in this spot. I think they're going to maybe dominate there against, not exactly the most elite starting pitcher there for the Padres. So yeah, give me the Dodgers here at minus 140 with a definite chance to make the pin comment. Rounding into the home stretch, we're looking at the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. Now, the Cubs and Angels are playing right now in the bottom of the 8th inning with everything tied up at 2 apiece. So we'll see who comes out on top in Game 1. In Game 2, the Cubs are going to hand the ball to Cade Horton, who's 7-4 this season, a 3.08 ERA. He was dealing with that blister on his right middle finger. Apparently that's okay. He's going to go out there and make his next start. We'll see how he does. If he can stay out there, if he's actually okay, I'm expecting him to be great. It is a little bit of a question mark, so keep an eye on that. The Cubs' bullpen's been decent down the stretch, no question about that. Not too worried about their bullpen in this situation. The offense, it's been good, but not dominant. 1, 4, 4, 6, 0, and 4 over their last few. Not up to the standard that this team set for themselves early in the year. I mean, they're 5th in runs scored and 6th in slugging percentage. They're supposed to be scoring an awful lot more runs. So we'll see what they do here against the Angels in Game 2. Obviously, the Angels not heading, in a great direction, although at 61-66 this season, they're much better than I thought they'd be. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Victor Medeiros. He comes into this game a 5.54 ERA. His last couple of starts, okay, not dominant. 5 innings, 9 hits, and 3 earned runs, and a 4-1 loss against the Reds his last time on the mound. Not exactly filling me with confidence. And neither is that Angels bullpen. It's been terrible this year. 5th worst in all of MLB, a 4.80 bullpen ERA. The offense has had its moments this year. They're 16th in runs scored, but 26th in batting average and 24th in on-base percentage. Makes me think that Cade Horton could be in for a pretty good day against them. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Cubs are minus 146. The Angels are plus 124, a total of 9.5. The Cubs are 32-30 on the road, 30-28-4 to the over on the road. The Angels are 34-32 at home, 36-26-4 to the over at home. I definitely am leaning towards the Cubs here at minus 146. If Cade Horton really is healthy, I don't have any huge reason to think that he's not recovered from that blister, so hopefully he's fine. And if he is, I really like the Cubs here at anything better than minus 160. I think they're in great shape. So give me the Cubs here at minus 146 as a very solid play. Last but not least, we're looking at the Sacramento Athletics going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Athletics come into this game 59-70 on the year, but they just swept the Twins. They're actually playing right now against the Mariners with things all tied up at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're going to hand the ball here in Game 2 to Jeffrey Springs. He's 10-8 on the year, a 4.24 ERA, but his last couple of starts really got knocked around by Tampa Bay and then followed it up with a stinker there against the Angels. So definitely a bit worried here about Springs. He had been throwing the ball great and had a great start against the Mariners back on July 30th, but recently hasn't looked like himself, and when he comes out of the game, that Athletics bullpen is bad. 4.92 bullpen ERA, one of the 3 worst bullpens in major leagues this season. Now, the offense is a whole different situation. They scored 8, 4, 6, 5, 7, and 10 over their last few games. This is an excellent team at the plate. They're 10th in runs scored, 5th in batting average, and 4th in slugging percentage. If they could put any sort of pitching staff with this group of hitters, this could have been a real team this season. So we'll see what they do against the Mariners here. Seattle having a terrible time, losing 5 in a row, back to 2.5 games behind the Astros. They're going to hand the ball in this one to George Kirby, who's 8-6 on the year, a 4.22 ERA. He got obliterated by the Mets his last time out. He was on a great stretch, throwing the ball really, really well, but then just could not get anyone out there against the Mets. So we'll see what he does here against the Athletics, a team he hasn't faced this year. But George Kirby, very inconsistent. He can go out there and strike out 10, 12, 15 guys, but he could also go out there and lay an absolute egg. So tough to tell what's going to happen there. Obviously, the bullpen for the Mariners has been decent all year long. The offense, though, a bit hit or miss, no pun intended. They've scored 2, 4, 7, 3, 1, 11, 3, 3, and 1 over their last few games. So we'll see what happens. Right now, the Athletics are plus 154. The Mariners are minus 184. Got a total of 8 in this game. The Athletics are a 500 road team. They're 32-28-6 to the over on the road. The Mariners are 37-25 at home, 31-27-4 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game. I definitely am interested in the Athletics at plus 154. I don't know if this will make the pin comment. Actually, it's very unlikely to make the pin comment because I'm sick of thinking the pitchers are going to bounce back and watch them not bounce back. But I do think the value side in this game is definitely to take Jeffrey Springs and that loaded Athletics offense. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you're clicking that link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Get over there, check out those red hot premium picks. Get on that email newsletter. That's absolutely free information, guys, straight to your inbox every single day. So you should certainly be taking advantage of that. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.